Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating, what is this back injury? Is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now. And this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in game. I think Whitlock is onto something. I see other people talking about this, people talking about it all.
Angel Reese has just sent shockwaves through the basketball world by walking away from the Chicago Sky. And honestly, this might turn out to be a blessing for the team.
Vandersloot, their point guard early in the year.
Yeah, that was a big loss. Them losing Courtney Vandersloot was a big loss. They got Rachel Banham playing point guard, Kia Nurse.
She spent most of the season sidelined, citing a so-called back injury. But now, she's completely walked away after her reputation took a nosedive and fans stopped buying excuses.
What is really going on with Angel Reese? Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you have to have some level of...
Angel Reese's latest disappearing act has become a full-blown joke at this point. For the third season in a row, she's checked out before the finish line. First, it was that wrist injury back in 2023. Remember the dramatic reveal? She allegedly needed surgery to prevent arthritis, but somehow that ended her season prematurely.
Honest. Maybe more reason why she's out right now might be secretly shopping her. They're not secretly shopping her. You don't fake back injuries. You don't fake back injuries. Run it from the grind.
No fight to come back. No push to finish the season strong. Just vanishing into thin air. Now, in 2024, she pulls the same stunt again. This time, it's a mysterious back injury. And when I say back injury, I mean one of the most vague, unexplained injuries in sports history. No clear diagnosis, no timeline, and no specific moment in a game where it supposedly happened. It just showed up out of nowhere.
Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year.
And of course, the timing of these injuries is perfect. Always after losing streaks or personal setbacks. Too convenient, right? The pattern is undeniable. Fans can claim it's bad luck all they want, but we've seen enough to know the truth. She's missing the biggest games, including the highly anticipated Sky versus Fever matchup in Indianapolis, the one everyone was talking about because of the Caitlin Clark rivalry. But naturally, she'll say it's all about rehabbing.
Like she is asking for a trade. Or she's at least implying she wants to be traded. Because at the end of the day, you just never know.
Let's break down how the Chicago Sky perform without Angel Reese. This season, they're sitting at 1-10 when she's off the court. Sounds bad, right? But here's the kicker. People are noticing that without her, the team actually plays better, more fluid basketball. The ball moves, the offense clicks. Players make real cuts to the basket instead of trying to feed one person's ego every single time. That's the part no one in her camp wants to admit. Oh, and let's not forget that brutal early season slump, shooting just 28% on layups before the All-Star break. Layups.
Everybody was on you shooting 28% on layups. Everybody's tearing you up on the internet. The All-Star votes come out, and you saw Kiki Area Finn and all these other people in front of you and realized, oh, damn, it looked like I'm not going to make it. And then you turned up.
I'm sorry, but hitting just 28% on shots that are supposed to be the easiest in basketball, that's mind-blowing. And wouldn't you know it, her performance only improved when the public started roasting her, and her All-Star voting looked pretty bleak. Funny how the fear of losing a popularity contest can suddenly make your shooting stats look a whole lot better.
You threw in the towel and said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year and didn't play again. This past the inaugural season of Unrivaled, you didn't even finish that season.
Now, let's talk about these injury excuses. They're starting to sound like a broken record. In 2023, it was the wrist, the so-called season-ending injury, complete with the dramatic arthritis warning. And just like that, she was done for the year. No fight to return, no pushing through for the team. She simply vanished.
Like, we've seen different tactics being used. Is Angel Reese trying to get traded, bro? Are you trying to get traded, Angel?
Then came 2024. Mid-season, bam, a mysterious back injury. No one knows how it happened. No one knows when it started. All we hear from the coaches is the same tired line every day, hoping people stop asking questions. But here's the kicker. Her back suddenly works perfectly fine for All-Star Weekend. She's on camera, smiling, posing for pictures, attending every media event with zero issues. Hours of standing? No problem. Posing for photos? Fine. But playing a regular season game? Suddenly, the back flares up. Convenient, don't you think?
She just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is dealing with a real, fully documented groin injury. Everyone saw exactly when it happened. Despite that, she still traveled with the team, staying engaged on the bench, analyzing plays, supported her teammates. And even while injured, she's averaging 16.5 points and nearly 9 assists per game. That's real production. That's leadership. Clark doesn't vanish with vague day-to-day excuses.
Angel Reese didn't even show up to the Indiana Fever game in Indiana. She's not even showing up to the away games anymore. She's not showing up at all. She's just not showing up.
Let's not pretend we don't know what's really going on with Reese. For a while now, there's been speculation that she's sitting out to protect her image and stats. After all, you can't let your numbers dip during a losing streak, right? Heaven forbid anyone sees her go 3 for 14 in a blowout. So she sidelines herself, and the PR team spins it into a rehab story. Analysts are even comparing it to Kawhi Leonard's load management. But at least Leonard has medical proof. With Reese, there's zero transparency, and that only makes things worse.
It looks like Angel Reese wants out, y'all. Angel Reese seems to be looking for a way out of the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Sky. And I got to be honest with you.
That's just classic marketing. Plain and simple. And speaking of marketing, let's not forget the Indiana snub. She skipped the Fever rivalry game, but had no issue traveling to All-Star Weekend in the same city just weeks earlier. So her back can handle cameras and endorsements, but not a showdown with Caitlin Clark on the court? Sure, that makes sense.
Remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt. Didn't show up for the championship game. Didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up. Didn't finish playing in none of the games.
The reality is that her image as the face of the franchise is taking a hit. Fans are starting to notice that branding seems to matter more than actual basketball. And when your team starts playing better and developing chemistry without you, that's the exact opposite of what a franchise player should bring. What's even crazier is how predictable it's become. She hits a rough patch, maybe gets publicly criticized, and like clockwork, a mysterious injury appears. Coaches trot out the same day-to-day line. Fans argue on social media, and she conveniently stays in street clothes for weeks. Yet somehow, she always shows up for media appearances or sponsor events that keep the brand alive. It's like she's mastered the formula.
Playing games. Angel, where you at? Where you at, Angel? This is nuts.
The Chicago Sky look like a well-functioning team when Angel Reese isn't on the court. I know her fans won't want to hear this, but analysts have been noticing it for weeks. The ball moves faster. The team's chemistry is tighter. The offense finally comes alive instead of dragging with Reese dominating every possession. The guards can run plays without waiting to feed her for another contested shot. Wings are cutting to the basket with purpose. The spacing is real, and possessions don't die because the ball is stuck in one player's hands. This isn't just my opinion. Anyone watching the games can see it.
There's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day.
Facts. Hey, Whitlock, take this pot. Keep cooking. Stir the pot.
And the stats are downright embarrassing. Over the past 2 years, the Indiana Fever have dominated the Chicago Sky, going 7-1 in matchups. That's right, 7 wins, only 1 loss. And get this, one of those wins came with Caitlin Clark sitting out entirely. No Clark, no problem. Indiana still blew out the Sky by 22 points. Lexi Hull, a player who rarely gets the spotlight, dropped 17 points and finished with a plus 22 rating. Think about it, getting dominated by role players. It's like losing your wallet to a pickpocket, only to watch them use your money to tip the waiter.
But I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break.
The real issue for Angel Reese is the growing perception that her style of play might actually make the Sky easier to defend. Once she's off the court, there's no predictable post-up to focus on, no constant battle to muscle into the paint. Opposing defenses are forced to think and adjust because the offense becomes less one-dimensional. That's why the addition by subtraction narrative is gaining traction. And here's the harsh truth. If your absence makes your team better, that's more than just a bad look. It's a red flag that could define your career.
So the Chicago Sky are an absolute, disaster right now. They're an absolute disaster. They are.
Let's talk about the chaos surrounding the controversy and trade rumors. Remember the Gamebridge Fieldhouse incident? Reese posted clips claiming it was unsafe for her to be there. Sounds serious, right? Except in reality, the whole thing was overblown. A little noise in the arena somehow became a full-blown conspiracy in her mind. And of course, she doubled down on it, milking the victim narrative for all it was worth.
Nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. Woo! I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard. I think she's used.
Ooh!
Fast forward, and Reese completely skips the Sky's next big matchup at Gamebridge against the Fever. And this wasn't just any game. It was a highly anticipated showdown fueled by the Caitlin Clark rivalry. Her no-show reignited the avoiding big games chatter. Honestly, it's hard to argue with that narrative. The pattern has been obvious all season. Big pressure, tough opponent, sudden mysterious injury, rinse and repeat.
You have to have some level of self-awareness here. Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realize.
Then there's a Dana Bonner theory making the rounds. Some believe Reese is sitting out to push for a trade. It's a bold claim, but here's the twist. If she really wanted out, she probably would have left by now. That's why some insiders think the Sky are playing a long game, holding on to her until the 2026 WNBA draft to maximize her trade value. Let's face it, if the right deal comes along, a team chasing a marketing boost could easily part with a top pick. Rumors have already linked top prospects like Paige Buchers to potential trades.
A lot of people are making the point that it sounds like she wants out of Chicago. And look, I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't blame her for wanting out of Chicago.
And here's the final blow to her injury narrative. She's already proven this season that she can still perform at a high level. In one brief return, she dropped 20 points in a single game. Clearly, she's physically capable when she wants to be, making the whole "I'm hurt, I can't play" narrative even harder to swallow. This brings us to the crux of her recent story. From the face of the Sky to a PR nightmare, 3 seasons plagued by suspiciously timed injuries. At this point, it's not just bad luck, it's a pattern and a damaging one. In sports, there's nothing worse than a reputation for disappearing when the pressure is on, called the ghost gene. Make sure to hit subscribe, because you won't want to miss the next chapter of how a so-called franchise star mastered the art of vanishing.
The Sky have no future. The Sky messed up bad. They messed up bad this summer. They don't have a